Chapter 29.
You are now listening to the Chapter of the Architect with DJ Architect.
What's going on? Once again, everyone, this is your host, DJ Architect. We have three special guests in the place to be with us today. A big return for Mr. Burgers. Burgers, what's going on, man?
How you doing, brother? It's
All
been
right.
a little while.
We got Big Sherm in the place to be. What's up, Sherm?
What's up, man?
And then we got our homeboy, Donnie. What's going on, Donnie?
What's up?
Hey, listen, first and foremost, Veterans Day is tomorrow. Today's a Marine Corps birthday, so to all the Marines who are hearing this, happy birthday. We have Donnie and we have Big Sherm, who are veterans. You guys served some time in the Navy, correct?
That's right. That's right. Navy is a branch.
It is.
Believe it or not, yeah.
Of a tree or what? Hey, listen, guys. Thank you for your service. Big Burgers, thank you for your service.
Yes, sir.
Burgers, the last podcast, Phillips, the last podcast that it's actually coming out Monday, correct? Today is what? November 10th, Marine Corps birthday.
Yep.
So the next podcast that's coming out is actually Chapter 28, and we had Kenny in the place to be, and we were talking about boot camp stories. Real quick, do you guys have any funny stories while you were in boot camp, or anything that happened the first time you graduated and went to the fleet? Any funny stories?
Yeah, I got one. This Burgers right here.
Big Burgers.
This was actually after boot camp, man. And I did my time or whatever. Did my boot camp, graduated, went back home to the city. You know, I was too busy blessing my girlfriend, my fiance at the time. Wasn't worried about my chevrons. And
Are you a priest?
Nah. I was slaying. You know.
You were slaying dragons?
I was slaying the puss. But anyway,
Okay.
So, you know, the weeks went by. I was glad to be home, you know, and I forgot to get my uniforms tailored correctly. So I went
Did you get them tailored at all?
I didn't get them tailored. I tailored them myself.
So just let's be honest, you just didn't get them tailored.
Right, I didn't.
Right.
So I tailored them myself, which they didn't get tailored correctly. Like, so I went to Walmart.
Not up to Marine Corps standards?
Oh, hell nah, man. I went up You know, it's a sad story because at that point, everybody looked at me as a shitbag off top. So
Hey, real quick, can you define the word shitbag in military terms? What does that mean?
I think it's a person that doesn't care about, like, it doesn't have to be everything, but say for instance, you could be the best PT stud, you know, physical training. You can run 3 miles in 18 minutes. You can do 20 pull-ups, 100 crunches, but then at work you just like fuck off. So in a sense, you're a bag of shit right there. A shit bag. Shitbird, whatever. It's multiple names you can use. We know that. But back to the story. So as the days were approaching, I had to go to MCT. I mean, actually check into my duty station, Camp Pendleton, California. Hoorah.
This is where you were joining the Fleet Marine Force.
Right. The fleet.
First time, right?
Right, for the first time. This is after MCT, after my MOS school and everything. And wow.
So explain to the individuals that are listening to the podcast. So when you first arrive, and this doesn't matter if it's your first, your second, or third company that you're going to, but you have to be in alphas, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
So this was my first unit checking in.
Explain what alphas are. So
Alphas are like the pickle soup is what they call it. It's olive green slacks, a khaki shirt, chevrons on your khaki shirt, up under your alpha blouse, which is also olive green, your shooting badge, your ribbons, which you ain't really you don't have too many.
You're wearing the tie, and
the clasp, the jacket,
the blouse. So what happens?
So, you know, I neglected to get it tailored, so I went to Walmart and bought some stitch witchery. So I tried to use the stitch witchery. What it is like something that binds like clothing. So I try to earn on my chevrons instead of getting them tailored and stitched.
Sewed on,
right. And so here I am checking in. in front of the big dogs, and my PFC chevron was like peeling off and shit. So my rank was already peeling off, and they probably looking at me like, well, that's where it's probably gonna be anyway. So I told my sergeant, I'm like, man, this shit is falling apart. He's like, why didn't you get it tailored? I said, well, in my city, it's a ghetto ass city. So, but anyway, so next thing you know, it's like, all right, we'll figure this out. He was like, we'll take off your alpha blouse and check in like that. Say you just spilt something on your jacket. That's why you wanted to be presentable, right? Next thing you know, I'm checking in with the second person, and guess what? The PFC chevron is now peeling off of my khaki shirt, the shirt up. So, yeah, I think that was a funny story. I mean, especially after how I came and completed honorable discharge and did everything I needed to do to get back in line to be a Marine. And that served no break time or anything.
You were probably better off grabbing some toothpaste and putting it on there and seeing if it was going to stick.
I don't know. I probably should have just tried to sew them on or pin them in or something. But they was just peeling off. It was hilarious. And to end the story, that next week, my sergeant, Sergeant Starkey.
I remember Starkey.
Yeah, he was like, you getting inspected in the week. Your shit better be correct or I'm going to bang you out. And I was like, good to go, Sergeant. And that's all I got on that.
That's crazy. A true shitbird personified.
Yeah, that time.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a little backstory of how I met Burgers. Burgers was in Camp Pendleton. I went from 3rd Marine Division. I spent 2 years in 3rd Marine, 2 years in 3rd Marine Division. I got orders to Camp Pendleton, and Burgers and I was a corporal. He was a lance corporal. We were in the same platoon. And I knew right off the bat this guy was a clown. Now, there were a lot of sergeants that were coming to me and were telling me, hey, this guy's a shitbag. You know what I mean? But I'm the type of person where I say to myself, well, let me find out who this guy is. Let me meet him, and then I'll pass judgment, right?
I respect that.
And yeah, he was a clown. He was a true clown, but he made me laugh. And I was like, you know what? I like this guy. I like this guy. At the beginning, I was going to punch him in his mouth. Let me tell you what happened, right? So I'm bunked up with another Corporal Sanchez, and he comes looking for him. He doesn't know that I'm, new. I just arrived. I open up the doors, but it's cracked, right? Just enough to where I can converse with him. And he goes, hey, how you doing? Who are you? And I said, I'm Corporal Lopez. Who are you? Oh, I'm Lance Corporal Harris. And I said, how can I help you? Is Corporal Sanchez here? I said, no, he's not here. This fool stuck his fat ass head inside my room to look around like I was lying to him. And I damn near slammed the door on his neck. And I'm looking at him. I was like, what are you doing? Didn't I just not tell you he's not here? What are you not understanding? And he looked at me like I was stupid. You know what I mean? And I wanted to punch him right in his mouth right there in that second. But long story short, him and I, we ended up being longtime friends for how many years? This is what, 2001, right?
2001, 2002 at the latest. It's like 15, 16 years almost. And
that's Burgers. That's Burgers' story.
Yeah.
Burgers, by any chance, do you know that Sherman, for the podcast, he went ahead and he developed this phone system where people can call in and they can rant. Did you hear about that, Donnie?
Yeah, I heard about it.
So people, the listeners, if you have a rant, you want to go ahead and for whatever reason, you got diarrhea and your ass is burning, you want to call up, just go ahead and rant.
Right. So we're a podcast that we're not live. So we record, then we edit if we have to. And we have a following that we'd like to include in the podcast. And we just thought we'd have this kind of an answering service to where you guys could call in on certain topics and issues. And we can play it during the podcast as if you were a live caller and we could speak on those issues. Some are funny. We've had lots of people call in with kind of doing stand-up bits. We've had people on serious political rants. Yep. Some pissed off taxi drivers, pissed off at Uber.
I'm pissed off at not Uber, the other one, man.
Lyft.
Fuck Lyft.
And we had even 9-year-olds call in and talk about how they hate Tom Brady.
Oh wow!
And I had a 6-year-old call in and share her love for our president.
Wow.
And
I don't know about that one.
All right.
For real. Nah, dog.
yeah. So no, I mean, definitely far left, far right, and in between. It's been fun, and I get a lot of calls that obviously I can't put on because some people are calling, much like MC Devastor. The mad rapper, but they'll call in.
Who the hell
like,
is that?
No, they'll call in and they'll say, "Hey, this is my YouTube. Check me out. Check me out. Here's my Instagram. Here's my Snapchat. Hit me up." And then they hang up, and I'm like, "That's not going on. That's not going on."
Right.
But the phone number is 833-RANT, the number 4ME, 833-RANT4ME, and the website is rant4me.com.
Thank you, Big Sherm.
That's my plug.
Oh, thank you for enlightening me with that.
Yeah.
Yes,
So.
Oh shit.
So what's going to happen is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna play MC Devastor's latest rant. Apparently, he's been calling up and he's been trying to get on the chapter of the Architect.
Is he nice, man?
No, hella no. But he's funny.
You haven't heard any of it?
Nah, this is the first time I heard the rant.
As a matter of fact, no, he is the illest rapper I've ever heard.
You're gonna play it right
Hands
now?
down. Yeah, we're gonna play it right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Put it up, baby. Let me
Yes,
hear it.
Stand by.
Hello? Hello? Am I on?
Let's listen to MC.
I better be on. Damn it. I'm spending my time using up my minutes. Calling you.
That is MC
Trying to get on
Hammer.
that podcast.
Using up his
Got to the
minutes.
Architect.
This is
I
for
need
the
to be on
record.
there.
Must be.
Well, I got a little present for you. A real present for you. And here it is. This is MC Devastator once again for that ass. AKA Chuck Wagon Deluxe,
Devastor.
the king of bells and wells, books on his shelves. It ain't hard to tell. Oh well. Woo! You hear me? How you love that?
What the hell he going
First
about?
of all, let me apologize. for
Actually, it
my
might not be that bad, man.
But y'all gotta see I'm the truth. Tell Big Sherm I got him. He can check me out my performance at the Oceanside Swap Meet in support of my Ham, Hawks, and Beers tour. I'm the truth. Please. I keep telling y'all. I need to be on the Chapter of the Architect podcast.
Well, you
I'm
are.
trying to take y'all to eat and show y'all how I'm living. Bologna sandwiches and chicken gizzards. That's the feast. What more you want me to do? Y'all want me to bust out the livers and onions?
Damn, that's nasty.
Let it be done. Say no more. Call me back. One.
Hey, do they do performances at the Oceanside Swap Meet?
I don't know. Apparently, this guy's got it on lock.
Sound like he the king there, right?
Center stage.
Wow.
Listen, last time he called in, we mentioned it on the podcast, which will come out this coming Monday. I was telling Kenny, he didn't leave a callback number or email again, and he goes, "Call me back one."
No, yeah, and it shows up restricted when I get the voicemails.
What
It's
a
like
clown.
he blocks it.
Hey, was that the best freestyle you've heard in a minute or what?
No.
It wasn't that bad to me. Man. I've heard worse. I've heard worse, man.
What you mean? You heard worse.
Are you serious right now?
But you serious, dog?
Yeah, I'm straight up.
That's your boy?
I don't know that
You
dude
like
at
that?
all, man.
Is that your homeboy?
What?
Come on, Los. Really?
How
He
the fuck
sounds
you gonna
angry.
say that dude is nice?
I said he got potential.
Anyways,
Knick-knack,
hey,
paddywhack.
hey, so MC Devastator or Devastor, whatever your name is, first of all, call in once again and let us know what the hell your name is so we can get that straight. But listen, going back to big burgers and a place to be. So you have a cooking show, is that correct?
Yeah, I do actually, man.
Tell us about that cooking show. It's on YouTube.
Yes, it's on YouTube. If you look up, type in Carol and Jay, and
CAROL.
What's the
Yes.
name of the show?
the Ghetto Kitchen.
So you cooking all type of goodies and entrees.
Yeah, it's like a low cost leftover, whatever you got in the fridge
So
type
you can make
deal.
like meals with Doritos and shit.
Well, I didn't do that yet. That's a good idea. but nah, like I think I mean I did a lot of things. I like deep fried a pork roast and then real briefly put it in the oven, made some au gratin potatoes to go with it.
Hey,
I mean,
so-
it's good meals. I mean, I be sandwiches. I made a chicken sandwich, deep fried fish. I did a couple Mexican dishes.
Tight.
And once again, where can people find that on YouTube?
Just go to Carol and Jay, and it'll pop right up. It's the top one. It's right at the top.
The ghetto kitchen.
The Ghetto Kitchen. It comes up when you pop in Carol and Jay. It'll say the Ghetto Kitchen. Plus, we're on tweet. We're on not YouTube.
Yes, you are.
You are on YouTube.
Well, not YouTube. Well, yeah. Sorry, I'm a little, But we was doing it on Facebook. You could see some of the episodes on Facebook too. So we,
Hey, so
and then Twitter.
Thanksgiving's right around the corner. Hey,
Yes,
so
sir.
ladies and gentlemen, so if you want to go ahead and learn how to,
Whip up a quick meal
Right.
in the middle of the night, because I do it half the time when I'm hammered and I need to eat something. So I'm creative. I did a bacon and hot dog sandwich, and it was.
You should write a cookbook.
So you cook when you're drunk?
Well, I can cook it any time, but
You ever set the kitchen on fire?
hell yeah. Yeah. As a matter of fact, you'd be surprised. I almost did it. Me and my wife just moved into a crib. And about 3 weeks later, I forgot I left the pot on the stove still cooking.
Oh, no.
For 3 weeks?
No, not for 3 weeks. It was 3 weeks ago. I'm sorry, I didn't explain myself, brother. But yeah, I went to drop her off at work, and I stopped to pick up some other ingredients and things I needed for a real meal, nothing for the Ghetto Kitchen. And as I'm backing into
So
the
what do you mean
garage,
real meal?
well,
Was the ghetto kitchen meal not
no,
real?
something that the common person could cook themselves. That nothing that's like out of whack. Because who would make a?
So is
I mean, who would make a hot dog?
That's what I don't understand.
Okay, go say again.
So is the ghetto kitchen meals not real meals?
It's
I mean,
complex. It's complex.
It's more ghetto complex.
Okay.
Ghettoplex.
Ghettoplex. There you go. That's what I should have named the show. Ghettoplex.
What's your target audience for the Ghetto Kitchen?
Oh, anyone. I keep it clean. I don't curse. When you
not
take a
very
look
ghetto.
at it, huh?
That's not very ghetto.
But you know what? I'm trying to keep little kids because it's
okay.
little kids
Ghetto
on
kids.
cooking shows. So you don't want to be on there, hey motherfucker, this is how you do it, slamming pans around
You
and
save
shit.
that for chapter of the Architect, right?
Right, yeah, I mean, I do curse. I curse a lot, but I found myself that I don't have to do that in that situation because I'm really just, because like I said, you look on some of these cooking shows, it's like 8-9-year-old kids cooking better meals than your homeboy that think he can cook.
Some women.
Than some women.
Yeah.
Cause I've been to motherfuckers' cribs and they like, my mom make the best this, like on a 96 because we all military, the 4 days off for a holiday. And you thinking you about to get the shit of your life? Yeah, you really get the shit of your life. And now I'm looking around for a dog so he can munch. You know what I mean? Dropping food on the ground. Oh shit, oh my bad.
Hey, real
Thanksgiving,
quick.
though.
So Thanksgiving's right around the corner, gents. I personally cook the turkey for my family, right? And I do a couple of sides and whatever have you. Donnie, do you cook the turkey for your family?
Usually my wife will cook it. I'm in charge of carving it up.
Oh, that the easy work.
Yeah, the easy work.
Carving, you know what? Carving is harder than cooking it.
Yeah, it is.
In my eyes. Oops.
Well, listen, every time you crack that, what you're doing is that's the sound of victory.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
don't hide that.
so you should put it next to the mic and say this
Swish
is the
it
sound
around
of
in my
victory.
mouth.
That's the sound of victory right there. Sherman, do
Yes.
you cook the turkey for your
No,
household?
and we were talking about this, but what I wanted to do this
That's
year,
right. Yeah.
So I wanted to take my wife, my 8-year-old son, my 6-year-old daughter, and say kind of like we're gonna put the rest of the family off to the side this Thanksgiving. We're gonna go to a Chinese restaurant and order duck and get pictures with the waitress and
like the Christmas Story.
That's right. And so like it's caused conflict because we have family members that want us to show up to Thanksgiving because we have forever. That's what you do.
Yeah,
But I'm like, no, this is kind of like a bucket list for me. I'm not like a skydiver or anything like that. I just want to order some duck. At
I never had
fucking
duck.
Chinese chain.
Duck
Neither
is
have I.
delicious.
And
it's a bit fatty, but it's delicious.
I heard if you cook it right, it'll be
it's
excellent.
the bomb.
so I told my mom that that's what we're going to do. And so now she's trying to pay me off to show up to Thanksgiving.
pay you off how?
Hold on.
Give me cash. Yes.
Are you kidding me?
No. She said, I will pay you if you come because I don't know, there's family there, and they're gonna be like, oh, so what's Big Sherm doing?
Oh, I got a good idea, man.
What?
How about you have her pay you off? You take that to go eat the duck, and then don't show up.
That's yep.
That's grimy, but
That's ghetto Thanksgiving.
The ground lord hit him with the ground sword.
yeah.
That's tight.
You should have duck on your Ghetto kitchen show.
Hey, you want to talk ghetto real quick? I'm drinking a Coronita right now.
Hey,
That's
cute. That's cute.
We
cute.
had our one of our special guests is Donnie bring some beer, and it's in the form of a 7 flowing ounce glass, and I have 7 lined up in front of me, which equals probably about 3, and I'm kind of pissed about it, and I just wanted I kind of wanted to touch on that real quick.
Wow.
Because I just want to say I'm glad the video's not rolling, because I'm sitting here, 2-fingering a Coronita with 3 pinky fingers out, because I can't fit the rest on the glass. And I just want to say, shout out to Donnie and Coronitas.
Hey, when I brought those in, the case, Lopez was like, hey, man. He's putting them in the fridge, and he looks at him. He's like, what the hell is this? These are cute.
Cute.
I thought they were only salt shakers and pepper shakers at good Mexican restaurants.
But you're right. But
That's what they look like, yeah.
That's a waste of material. Fuck. Is what it is.
It's
right?
like the Kirkland water bottles.
It's a waste of material, man.
Oh, from Costco?
Yeah, you just, what?
Wow.
3 gulp.
Hey,
Well, at least he brought some beers for you, man.
yeah, so free is
see.
thank you, sir.
No, I don't
Thank
feel
you.
that way. But I'm still...
He like, go big or go hard.
Hey, so burgers,
Yeah.
do you cook the turkey at your home?
Actually, you'd be surprised. I cooked the whole meal deal, baby.
So do I.
I like doing it that way because
How do you cook your turkey? Give us the Ghetto kitchen turkey recipe.
I don't have one because I haven't done it yet.
okay, freestyle.
But okay, the basic turkey, what I've been doing in the past, but I figured out something different this year, and I'll explain why, okay? Now, normally, I'll inject it in the breast areas. I'll put lemon pepper, garlic, and herbs in the actual injection. So when you inject it in and then you do it in the thighs, all portions of the turkey. Let them chill. Put a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic powder, a little bit of Sazon on the top, and then I got the turkey deep fryer. So I just drop them in there.
Is that an every year thing for you?
It has been for the last 3 years since the first time I actually came in contact with that, because I didn't have it no other way as a child. They wasn't deep frying turkeys back in the 80s and you know what I mean, early 90s. I was born in 76, but yeah, so when I tasted deep fried turkey for the first time, I'm like, wow. I mean, have you guys ever had it?
No,
I
want to
tried
do
it.
it.
Y'all never had deep fried turkey?
I heard the best thing to do is put it in when it's frozen.
Nah, you do that and you're going to burn your house up or your patio up.
That's what I was going to ask.
You have to defrost it. You have to defrost it completely. Pat it down, inject it, season it.
And this is outside, right?
No, you don't season it outside.
No. I'm saying it's frying outside.
Well, I do it outside, right?
Okay.
On the back patio, you get the stand because you buy the turkey fryer like $50.
And it's never turned into a napalm disaster mess.
No, because you got to know how to do it. It has a line that tells you how much oil to put in it, and you're supposed to use peanut oil because it burns at a higher rate and it won't burn up as quickly as vegetable oil or canola oil.
Is it a lower rate?
No, it's a fact. I mean, no, it burns at a higher temperature. Excuse me, at a lower rate. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Thanks for the correction, chef. Anyway,
you're welcome.
But yeah. So you drop it in there, and then you cook it so many minutes. You just have to look it up. You cook it so many minutes for so many pounds.
So those people fucking up in the backyard where it's all
they probably do it frozen.
Frozen.
Right, it's not defrosted.
You gotta let that sucker thaw.
Right, if you don't defrost
that's when they
it,
explode.
Is that the only reason? Or maybe they're filling the oil up too high?
Maybe they're filling it up too high. I don't know what they're doing in their backyard, but I know.
You know what? That's an easy fix, right? So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to call y'all dummies, but so what you need to do is,
well, how about SOBs?
Hey, what you need to do is, hey, look, grab some water, right? And then you put that turkey in there, and then you have the water to give you your baseline of level. That way, you know, and the turkey could be frozen. But now you have your baseline of level if you need to take some water out. And then you have a marking in there that tell you, okay, this is
Max.
the amount of liquid that I need to put in, right? Or just look at the pot. It'll give
Right,
you,
the pot is marked.
Yeah, you can mark it, and it'll tell you, okay, at this level, this is how much amount of oil I need to put in.
You fry your turkey too, Carlos?
No, I never have,
It's
man.
man.
I never have, but I've had people tell me that
That's
is
the best.
delicious. It's juicy. It
faster,
cooks
too.
real
It
quick.
cooks fast.
Yeah.
Faster? Really?
Yeah.
It cooks
I
a
guess
lot
that
quicker.
makes sense, huh?
It does, but it's so juicy. It's unbelievable. You know how it's kind of hard to cook a turkey when you put them in the oven, because if you don't cook them right, it's like you chewing on crackers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you,
I
when
never
you,
had that problem.
well, I haven't either. But obviously, I have in the early beginnings of me cooking. But
White people have that problem a lot.
Well, you know, let me give you if I don't mean to. I don't
No,
cut
you
you
good.
off. So the way I cook my turkey is, I grab butter, right? So sticks of butter, and then I put them in a microwave for about 15 seconds, and then I grab the skin and I separate the skin from the actual breast, and I grab that butter, and I push it in between the skin and the breast. So now that's nice, and that's going to create, when that melts, it's going to create moisture for the breast, for the meat to remain tender and moist. And then I inject the sucker with sofrito. You guys know what sofrito is?
Nope.
So sofrito is you grab cilantro, you grab onions, garlic, tomatoes, and then what I do is I grab olive oil and some orange juice, and then I blend it up.
I never would have guessed.
Right. So I inject that son of a bitch into the breast of the turkey.
yeah, I watched him do it.
And then I grab a dry mix, a dry rub, some adobo,
Sazon.
con achote. And then I do the dry rub, and then with the remaining mixture of that sofrito, I pour it right on top of the turkey. Bam!
You should see his turkey, man. When you see it, you be like, "What the fuck is that?"
And the thing about it is,
But once it bakes in, it's like, ooh.
and the thing about it is, and then obviously I put some aluminum foil on top of it. But the thing about it is, every hour or so, I baste it.
How long is this
based it.
process?
Depends on the
Size of the turkey.
size, how the poundage of the turkey. You know, I got to be honest with you, man. This time of the year, I got to go on YouTube and do the calculations. How many hours of cooking per pound per turkey? I really couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but yeah, salud, my brothers, salud.
With our cronitas.
Crack.
That's
Hey.
too complex for the ghetto kitchen.
Yeah. No, but
But
okay, you're gonna finish, and then I'll tell you what I'm doing this year, and you'll understand.
So you gotta base you gotta base the motherfucker. And then, hey, I'll be honest with you, I'm the type of person that, and I know a lot of people are gonna hear this and gonna be like, what the fuck. I cut into the breast when I think it's done. I cut into the breast when I think it's done, and if it starts to burst out a little bit of blood, I know it's not done.
Do you
Right, it
complete
gotta
the
be clear.
slice, or do you just go?
Just a little-
I go halfway in. You know what I mean? And then as if it's bursting with a little bit of red juices, then
not
I say,
done.
okay, it needs to be done. It needs to be staying in there
Yeah.
about another 45. I check it again. If it looks dry, I'll cut it.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day,
I mean, no.
the presentation of the turkey is something beautiful, man. But look, you don't want people to get sick at your dinner. You know what I'm saying? So when I pull it out again, I cut it even deeper. I'll make like a triangle cut. And then make sure that meat is nice, white, and tender.
Yeah.
And then once that's done, I pull it out. I'll let it rest for about 45 minutes, and then we dig in.
I'd get my hand chopped off by some of my family members if I was to cut before.
right, because they think they taking that out. But like you
Hey,
said, that's how
but-
people
but-
get sick, man.
But you know what? I understand people's their point of view
No,
of
it's
hey,
equal.
it's got to be it's all right, but you don't know what's in that grenade. You know what I'm saying? You can get something and get the whole party sick. So I make sure whatever I'm going to feed my family and I'm feed my dogs is nice and cooked.
Burgers, when you're frying, does it go your chances of getting raw or sick meat
No, it
up
don't.
or down?
It doesn't when you deep fry it. I promise.
Same risk, or there is no risk?
There
or
really,
what?
I haven't had. I don't feel like I'm at risk because you look it up on YouTube and it's like cooked 3 minutes. I think it's 3 minutes each pound.
Okay.
So if you get a 15-pound
No,
turkey, you
it's-
deep fry it
it's-
for. I think it is 3. I think it is.
I don't know, man.
But you just multiply
all I know
that
it's per the
per
hour.
pound.
It's per the hour. Hey, Donnie, so the size that you cook, does your wife does all the cooking at home?
We typically buy a smaller one, a smaller.
Oh, you
turkey.
guys buy a turkey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys ever attempted to cook?
Oh yeah.
No, he's saying they buy a smaller turkey.
We small.
Oh,
buy-
I see.
yeah,
I see what you're
turkey.
saying.
Right, like a 10
So,
pound.
is it your wife that ends up cooking the turkey?
Yeah, usually.
What? So tell us about the delicious sides you guys have.
I think some of my favorites is like the sweet potatoes with brown sugar, marshmallows on top.
I never really cared for that, man.
Oh no.
I don't like the marshmallows, but I can deal with the brown sugar.
I didn't. I
Yeah.
never cared for the sweet potatoes. But go ahead. Continue.
The broccoli salad.
Wow, you giving me some dishes I never fuck with. But go
Yeah,
ahead,
man.
continue.
Green bean casserole sometimes.
Because
My
I'm
my
white.
sister-in-law.
Yeah,
That's how white people do it, man.
Damn.
For sure.
No, that's good, but it's healthy though.
No,
Yeah, that's why you skinny and I'm
No.
fat.
I have a question though. You know, being in the military, you get invited to your
Yeah.
active duty. A lot of people invite you for Thanksgiving, right? So, have you ever been invited to someone's house and they cut into that turkey and it's been red
Yes.
and like you're afraid to eat it?
That's
Yes.
why I'm
Yeah.
telling you, my
Yeah,
brother.
that's why I went back to that story because
Yeah.
a couple of times being active duty, I went, was invited and
I
went
ain't
over
eating.
and
so just a random family, right?
yeah,
That's how it
random
works.
family. They'll invite you over and they cut into that and you just see blood.
Oh, no,
and
no.
You could tell, the meat's not done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Where was that?
I think that particular time I was doing some training in Texas and my boss had lived there.
Son of a
My old boss, and he invited me over. I mean, I was gracious. I mean,
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I would just
take
be
a little
sitting in the
nibbles
barracks.
here and there. You eat more of the salad than you do anything.
So what'd you do?
right.
I know what to do, but go ahead, Donnie.
You looked for the dog, right?
No, not on this one. I got another take for you. Go ahead, finish the story, sir.
No, I mean, it's pretty busy, so people aren't like
Paying attention.
Yeah, paying attention to what you're eating, right? So I'll just kind of play it off, maybe eat a little bit of it, and just fill up on some sides.
At least that's cooked.
what would you do?
Yeah.
What would you do if you had that in your presence? Burgers.
All right, see, I guess I'm a quick thinker like that. So, I'm at a crib, most of the time on Thanksgiving, you're getting hammered, right? And you're watching football games. And once they cutting that turkey and everybody was like, it's time to eat, I'd be like, all right, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to make me a plate and put it to the side, right? Continue to get fucked up, watch the game, and then microwave it so it's cooked all the way.
What if you get caught in the process? They'll be like,
Hey,
"Why are you
I wasn't
microwaving
hungry
my
earlier.
turkey?"
I think that's the coldest shit ever. I mean, whatever way you gonna get.
I'm so passive. I would just
Eat it
I would
and
probably
take the
throw it on
stomach
my
ache?
plate. I would throw it on my plate and kind of like Donnie said, look for the dog, get a shit ton of sides going,
Yeah.
and maybe just walk by the trash and go, oops.
No, you know what? Burgers' idea is not bad at all.
No.
Because really, what you're doing is you're taking a small portion of the turkey slices, which can look. You can cook bacon in a microwave, which technically that's where you get the most crisp bacon.
You really do.
Delicious.
Yeah.
You can cook bacon in a microwave. So you grab a small slice of turkey. You set that bitch in there for 3 minutes, 4 minutes. It might be dry, but
right.
goddamn, it's gonna be cooked.
I'm picturing
Right?
the kitchen next to like the dining room, and everybody's sitting down. You're invited to this house, and all of a sudden you just hear, vroom, and then beep, beep, beep.
No, that's why
Burgers
you
gets-
tend to the
Burgers
microwave.
gets up
Ways
and walks
to
over
avoid
and gets
that.
his turkey.
Because I'm gonna tell you how I avoid that, right? So every time I have Thanksgiving dinner here at my house, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm a man, pride, Marine, you know what I mean, combat veteran, so I do what I want in my house. So I have adult beverages left and right, ready to be snatched up and guzzled, goddammit. So when that turkey is cooked,
Yeah.
everyone else eats, and they know, Big Daddy stands by and keeps sipping
hell
on
Big
whatever
Daddy? I'm Big
adult-
Daddy, man.
Adult, you shut your trap. I'd sip on whatever adult drink, and then they know, okay, well, he's gonna eat when he's ready to eat.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you could play that card. Hey, hold on, goddammit, There's Bud Light in there to be
Come
drunk.
eat
There's
with the
Corona, need to be
family.
drunk.
I'm like, man.
Okay, let me snack on some Doritos. I'll be there in a minute. And then, it's like, there's ways to do it. Why?
Yeah, or just don't eat at all. It's been times I went to family house and I just like make me a plate, and I wouldn't eat it till the next day.
Hey, let me tell some Thanksgiving memories real quick, man. Growing up in New York, obviously our family's from El Salvador. My mom, her turkey was always off the hook. And she was so slick with it, man. She would slice oranges and put that on top of the turkey with the orange juice. I mean,
like zesting it?
Yeah, man. The whole house would smell like a beautiful turkey bacon.
Like a fresh push.
But yeah.
You're hitting the wrong push.
So
Yeah.
you want your puss raw. Not cooked on me.
Not good.
So I gotta edit that.
Well, you don't want to cook because if it's cooked, you about to be burning.
But anyway,
I recall on Channel 9 WOR TV for Thanksgiving for the holidays, they would play nonstop Godzilla movies. Yeah, do you guys remember that?
oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, man, those were the best. And just the other night they were showing Godzilla movies. I think it was Mothra, Godzilla, Rodan
On what channel?
versus Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. And
What channel?
I think it was on a cable channel, man. One of the upper 500s, man. But I'm watching I'm watching that movie, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, those were good movies, the Godzilla movies, man.
Yeah, they were.
Did you enjoy watching those movies, Donnie?
Yeah.
Which one was your favorite?
I like the old Japanese. I don't have a particular one, but the old Japanese ones are great.
Yeah, man. Where you remember? You guys know who Godzuki is? You know
Not
who
out.
Godzuki is? Godzuki. That's Godzilla's son. Yeah. So there was this movie called Monster Island, and Godzilla was trying to teach his son Godzuki how to spit flames, right? And this little motherfucker looked like a little goblin, right?
Huh.
And then he would throw these ring smokes. He would go pop, and then it'd be a ring smoke, and he'd be happy. And Godzilla, being his dad, would get mad and would smack him with his tail, like, "Yo, you a chump, you a chump." But,
You guys had some interesting cable networks in New York.
no, that was public TV. We didn't have cable back in them days.
Yeah, we didn't.
But I mean,
I'm talking about TV antennas with aluminum foil on them and shit.
Hey man, but
Right.
the Godzilla would just run.
Godzilla.
Hey, another great holiday movie was March of the Wooden Soldiers. You remember with Lauren Hardy? Is that past?
Oh,
time?
hell no,
am
man.
I going past you guys? That's yeah.
Well, you ain't going past time. I don't remember. I don't know. I stuck to
man.
Tom and Jerry type shit. You know what I mean?
Okay, what about Little
was my
Rascals?
shit.
Remember Little Rascals?
Little Rascals, yeah.
Little Rascals was the shit, man.
Three
That's back when
Stooges.
you didn't
Hey,
have
so-
a TV
Leave
remote.
it to Beaver.
Oh man,
Leave it to Beaver. Lassie.
My favorite.
Lassie.
Hey, what about the Monkeys? My favorite Martian.
Oh,
The Partridge Family.
The monkey.
Yeah.
You said the monkeys.
I said the monkey.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
I'm going back. over.
shit. I even used to watch the People's Court.
The Monsters, the Addams Family,
Yeah.
Incredible Hulk, the Muppet Show.
So
Yeah.
Nick at
Dukes of
Night,
Hazzard.
Nick
they
at Night.
still bust it out, right? I mean, I don't have cable, but when I left the cable world, they were still playing some crazy shit. Like Nick at Night played Leave It to Beaver and
Yeah.
the Monsters, and I do miss that channel.
I don't see some of those programs enough, but you know what? Lately, what I've been doing, man, and I don't know why, but it's nostalgic. I've been going on YouTube and I've been typing up 80s New York commercials.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's one way.
And it's the nostalgia factor, and I'll
I'm
do
gonna
that
do
for
it now. No, I'm laughing, but
I'll do that for
I'm
45
gonna
minutes,
do
and
it.
I'm like, oh, I remember that commercial, the first time. You guys remember the first time GI Joe
my
the
God.
cartoon came out?
Hell yeah.
You remember that shit?
Go Joe.
Oh,
That was my dog.
That's tight.
Yeah.
The Coca-Cola, was it? No, it was Pepsi.
Oh, when they burnt up Michael Jackson's.
No, I'm talking about
They burned his Wigatron.
No, my first boner named Cindy Crawford. When she comes out the Ferrari, remember? And the kid, just one look. And the kids
Yeah,
at
she
the gas
was
station,
hot.
and she pulls up in the Ferrari, and you're like, Oh fuck! I think. I'm much younger, but that's
You wanted to fuck hard. It's okay.
Fuck. For show and tell in the 3rd grade, I swear to God, I recorded it on VHS and I brought it into 3rd grade Miss Sinku's class. Little plug. But I played it on VHS, and everybody, like all the guys were just watching because it was the first time it aired, but all the guys were watching, and my teacher was like, what the fuck? Like, this is your show and tell?
Don't be
and
jelly.
It was a Pepsi commercial that I brought to show and tell 3rd grade. Yep.
Damn.
Cindy
Jealous.
Crawford.
That's what it was.
Yep. She still looks good as
What
fuck.
about Donnie? What you got, man?
I was going to ask you something, Donnie, real quick. You know,
What's that?
going back to the 80s, I don't know if I didn't have the chance to watch it, but it came out, I believe it was this past Monday or Tuesday, the 30 for 30 for Ric Flair.
Oh, yeah. I should have recorded that.
I'm still attempting to find it and watch it. Ric Flair, when I was young, I hated him. But now as an adult, I've grown to love him so much because it shows you how he was so dedicated to the art of professional wrestling. You grew up in Florida. You and I have had conversations in the past where you have met wrestlers. You used to work in a gym. Tell us about those stories, Donnie, if you would.
Yeah, I was going to high school. I actually started working at a gym, and what I would do is clean the gym for a free membership. And a lot of wrestlers train there. It's like training grounds for wrestlers. Tampa, Florida.
That's right. Yeah.
Even some of those.
Gordon Soley used to be a commentator down in southern Florida.
Right. And there still are a lot of wrestlers that they reside in Florida. So I'm working in a gym, and Macho Man will come in, and don't think that he's out of character.
That was him.
This guy, he's in the gym working out with those frays off his shirt and those,
You serious?
rubber band. Yeah, man.
Rubber bands
Dead
around his
serious.
biceps
that
and
was
shit.
his style.
Yeah,
for real.
he'll come in and train like that, and I mean that was him. And up until I can't really give you a specific date, but he actually started dressing normal. But when all the times that I worked there, that's how he would be in there training. Really cool guy, really nice guy. Hulk Hogan, I met a few times.
Really? How was he?
He was pretty cool. I was working in GNC, General Nutrition Center, selling vitamins, and Hulk Hogan came in all decrepit. You could tell, man, it hurts him to walk. He come in and bought a bunch of vitamins.
The real American.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool place to grow up, and you see a lot of those guys. Same with baseball players. Their spring trainers down there, so I meet a lot of them as well.
Yeah. When I get a chance, I'm going to go back and look at that 30 for 30 Ric Flair, man.
Look interesting.
Man. He's one of my favorite wrestlers to this day is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and he had some classic epic matches with him. Sherm, are you into wrestling? Was that something?
Hey, hold on one second.
Yeah.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, I actually dated his niece.
You dated his niece?
In Florida, yeah.
Did you pound hard? I got to ask my dog. Yeah.
Burgers,
Yeah,
a savage.
I am a savage. You know that.
all through
Before
high
I got
school.
married.
Yeah, all through high school. Man. I
Really?
dated her.
Is that his answer?
Wow.
Yeah.
You dated her for a while.
Yeah.
So you was slaying.
Yeah,
What happened? Why did you guys break up? Did you ever meet her uncle?
I met him once, and he actually signed some pictures for us.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
How was he?
Yeah, he's cool. That whole family was pretty cool, pretty chill. Yeah, we just broke up. It was just, we're young, man.
Yeah,
it was like my
yeah.
first girlfriend, you know what I mean?
Oh, man.
So-
She probably didn't know how to cook yet. That's why you broke up with her. You know what I'm saying?
She didn't do no cooking.
Oh,
Nothing.
my goodness.
Yeah.
I would have, it's Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Hey, so Sherman, were you into wrestling?
No.
Not really? No?
What I did tell you was my wife ran into Goldberg at Daniel's Market. in
Yes.
Bonzo.
Tell us about
No,
that.
that's cool. We were on our way to the beach, and this was just like probably 4 weeks ago. And
You serious?
yeah, he lives in Bonzo.
What?
We didn't even know right off the bat who it was, but so I pulled up. I was waiting with the kids in the car, and my wife was taking forever. And I guess they were in line, and she comes out, and then he comes out right after, and I was like, holy shit, I know that guy. And she got in. She's like, that guy's a famous wrestler. I don't know who he is. And I was like, yeah, I couldn't put my finger on it. But they were talking in line, and he had everybody in the grocery store kind of rolling about something. And he was just, I guess that's his spot.
Charismatic, maybe?
Yeah, for sure. Said he was the nicest guy ever. And
did
I had to look at so I
Oh, so you didn't know?
No, I Googled it before we left. I said wrestlers that live in Bonzel, and it came up as Goldberg, and it had his face. I was like, no shit. I was like, that's Goldberg.
Did the people are so obviously your wife didn't know who he was. The people around him, did they know who he was? Yeah. So they know who he was.
But it seemed, she said it just seemed like this is what he does on a daily basis. Like, hey, you know, what's going on, Goldberg, or whatever.
We need to go hang out at Bonzo.
Yeah, I'm about to go chill down there, post it up with a baseball bat.
Grab some chloroform, and he's going to wake up here in the studio and be like, hey, you're tied up and you can't leave until we interview you.
Yeah, I got a Goldberg story for
like
you.
MC Devastor.
Yeah. You got a Goldberg story?
I actually have pictures as well. I was at the airport deploying to Iraq, and I'm in the bathroom taking a piss at the urinals, and I looked to my right, and I couldn't contain myself, man. I was like, holy shit, you're Goldberg. And he's like, yeah, I'll shake your hand as soon as I finish pissing. I'm not joking.
What a dick.
Man. Right?
Did you shake his hand?
Did you shake his hand?
Absolutely.
You guys washed your hands.
Maria, my wife was at the airport. And he comes out, and you know, I was in uniform.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I was in my camis, and he's like, you know what? Take this sweater. And he gave me his sweater.
Really?
And he goes, when you get to Iraq, take a picture with all your guys and send it to me.
With the sweater on.
Right, with the sweater on.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I have that sweater at my house wrapped
really?
up. Yeah.
You need to shop at Daniel's Market, man.
Yeah.
Bonzo.
Yeah, it was
really
for real.
awesome, man.
The guy is
that
cool
is
as hell,
really,
man.
really cool for really he's a celebrity. You know, for a celebrity to do that's really awesome.
No, it's rad.
Oh my goodness, man.
Hey, so you want me to finish what I was going to say about the Thanksgiving? How I'm gonna do it this year?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's quick. It's gonna be no. It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we back and forth. This is a podcast. You can do what the fuck you want. So instead of buying a whole fucking turkey, it's just me, my wife, and my stepdaughter. Basically, I mean, my brother then came back, but you know he gonna be with his family. So instead of buying a whole turkey, I bought 2 legs, 2 thighs, and 2 wings. Because when it's only you and your wife eating a full Thanksgiving dinner, it's gonna be kind of hard to finish that. How many leftovers, I mean, can you have at one time?
Shit.
Is that cost efficient though?
Oh hell yeah, it is. I think I spent $15 on 2 legs, 2 wings, and 2 thighs.
How many people are we talking?
Me and my wife.
Oh shit, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cool.
So
I'm eating all of that to the head, but
I don't need the breast because the breast is dry. I don't want to deal with it. Plus, they in sections, and I have a small deep fryer. I could just do it right in the house.
so it's not one of them big buckets that I see.
No. I bought them all separate. So one was, I mean, it ain't like I ain't got the money to buy a fucking turkey. It's just I'm saying it. No. I know you're not saying that, Sherm. But you know, you got to learn when it's just you and your wife because my stepdaughter is a damn vegetarian. So why am I gonna buy a whole turkey, and then I'm gonna have to freeze more than half of the turkey?
Don't they make that fake turkey?
Huh?
Don't they make that fake turkey?
Yeah, but I'm gonna
give us some bean
tofu
turkey.
some what?
The bean turkey.
Bean turkey.
Vegetarian.
Toe turkey? Nah, fuck that.
Nasty.
Hey, you know what? And this, you know, I'm gonna go. Nah, I can't do that. I was just gonna explain some things, but
there's some more beers inside the freezer because those little mini firecrackers, I know ain't doing nothing.
Little mini firecrackers.
That's why I rock with the tall boys.
Hey, he ain't even got the M80s. Well, you know what?
Liking it.
Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm not gonna criticize what you did, man. Some motherfuckers are walking here with nothing. Like, put me on a podcast.
That's off the hook, man. That's off the hook.
Well, plus the baby ones, you know what? Maybe he was looking on the bright side and was like, well, I don't want Sherm drinking so much, so I buy him the little ones.
Exactly. Yeah.
People, you see that?
Thank you, my brother. You didn't have to bring that. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm just telling the truth. People do certain things a certain way.
Hey, so
I'm going to give you a half a turkey for Thanksgiving, my friend.
thank you. That's better than no turkey, right?
Exactly.
There you go.
How you going to do that?
I'm joking. I was trying to make a
point
to Mr. DJ Architect over here.
Was I complaining about him bringing the tinies? I'm not even drinking
No,
the
that was
tinies.
me. I thought that was great material.
Yeah, it was. But you're not even drinking the tinies either. What are you complaining about?
I'm drinking a tall boy.
So why are you complaining?
I'm not complaining, man.
Okay. Oh,
He's congratulating.
Do you want
Okay.
There's a tall in here.
Yes, that's for me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's for you, huh?
Yeah.
Negative Ghost
Right
Rider.
here. Hey,
you,
there's
sir.
also a can next to it.
Yeah, that was going to be an auxiliary, but if you guys want it, you can take it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the sound of victory. Pull that ass.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
moving right along.
I never could be whack.
You can't be whacked.
I never could be whack, man.
Anyways, let's move right along.
You sound.
That's a damn motherfucking lie.
I can never be whack.
Well, what's the problem, man?
No, you sounded a lot like that Devastor cat. He said the same shit.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he said I can never be whack.
Man, okay, Sherm, you know me. Do you think I look like I would name myself Devastor?
Yes.
Probably Devastator. Maybe Devastator.
He did change his name to.
Hold up. What you talking about, man?
All right.
All right, whatever.
Moving right along.
Moving along with Mr.
All right, guys, you guys gonna make me motherfucking choke. Hey, Donnie, do you gotta leave soon? You gotta leave soon?
Maybe a little bit.
All right, we'll give you, how about 10, 15 minutes? You can hang out with 10, 15
Yeah.
minutes. All right, hey, fellas, Netflix. You guys got Netflix?
Got it all.
Okay, so Burgers, our homeboy Carter put me onto this show called House of Cards.
I heard about that. Is it the truth?
Listen, he wasn't the only one that put me onto that show. Finally, you know, he kept telling me, "Yo," he goes, "If you like Game of Thrones, you're gonna like House of Cards." So finally, one day, my wife and I, we sat down, we started to watch it. Addicted from the second episode. Right now, I think we're on season 4.
I couldn't get into it.
You couldn't get into it? Oh, man, it shows you the shiestiness of what the real.
Oh, ain't that's the one about the government, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. My wife brought that up to me one time,
Good
but
show. It's a good show.
nah, fuck that, man.
So, so we get addicted to it, and then about 2 to 3 weeks of us watching the episodes, Kevin Spacey, sound of victory, sound of victory. Kevin Spacey gets these accusations of him molesting a child, and then a lot of people are upset about this because they say that he picks that particular time to come out of the closet and say that he's homosexual. How do you guys feel about that?
About liking dudes or
No. About Donnie, I'll ask this question to you.
yeah.
About him being accused of molesting who is now an adult, but many, many years back, the time he was a child. About him being a pedophile, and then him at that particular moment of being accused utilizes that moment to springboard to say, "I'm coming out. I want the world to know." What are your thoughts on that, Donnie?
From what I hear, it's been a lot of that going on as far as in Hollywood, even before this all came out. And now it's just all coming out because people are more comfortable to talk about it. But to use, Kevin Spacey, from my understanding, he's always very private. You know, you never really seen him with anybody like on the red carpet, anything like that. So I think, him jumping out saying this, I don't think he's going to bounce back from it, man, to be honest with you.
Do you think that was a deflection move
What, to get him out of there?
No. A deflection move to be like, hey, it might have happened. I don't recall. I possibly drank a lot, but hey, I'm gay.
Maybe like, part of it,
right?
I think so.
To take away a little bit of the light of what the accusation is about, and I thought it was terrible timing. And listen. Obviously, I'm not homosexual. Neither of you guys are homosexual. I have nothing against homosexuals. I'm assuming neither of you guys are, have any phobias against people of that nature.
Not at all.
But I wouldn't recommend for him to utilize that particular moment in time to be like, hey.
Yeah, it's not an excuse for him being a pedophile. Yeah.
Deal with what you got to deal with.
Right.
So this dude was running around checking out kids and shit? I mean, Kevin Spacey, I like him as an actor.
So do I.
Well, the one particular issue, the situation that happened, I think they were in a bar or something, and this guy maybe was 18. No,
he was like
drinking
14.
Yeah,
was he drinking?
Well, no, there's multiple stories, but or multiple, accusations.
Yeah. So there's different.
So we could
people.
be talking
There's
about two different
victims.
stories.
One I heard was 14 years old.
Sure. Yes.
Who was now an adult.
So there was the second story that came out.
Oh, wow.
It was I believe it was a journalist's son who was sitting at a bar, and this came after the initial, I believe, and I don't want to speak wrong here, but I think I read it right. The second one, it was a journalist's son who was sitting at a bar. He grabbed him by the package. He maybe even put his hands down his pants, and he goes, "You know what that was? That means like that was a move of ownership or something like that." And before that happened, he called his mom and he goes, "You're not going to believe this. I'm sitting at the bar with Kevin Spacey." So he came off as this big fan,
starstruck,
right? Starstruck,
and he grabbed his meat.
He grabbed his meat, and
no, he didn't grab his meat. Kevin Spacey.
Grabbed his meat.
Kevin Spacey grabbed his meat.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he got up and was going to go to the bathroom, and somebody that knew Kevin Spacey that was kind of part of his party there caught him coming out of the bathroom and said, "Run as fast as you can." And he did.
Told the
kid.
Yeah. And he took off
wow.
and bailed. And he fed him a lot of drinks. Like he paid for this kid. Like he overfed him drinks.
Over intoxicating him?
He was fattening him up for the kill.
Yeah.
For the stuffing.
The sad thing about it is
that is sad.
You're a savage, man. And don't get us in trouble, Burgers, with your goddamn comments.
No, we can't get in trouble.
But listen,
that's the truth, man.
Nobody's listening. Yeah.
I mean, I ain't.
No, I hope people are listening.
Hey, but
now,
he was setting him up for the kill. That's what you say. I understand where you're coming from. The words I use aren't the most
made
precise.
Me lose my train of thought, bro.
Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, huh?
Has that ever happened to you?
What? A motherfucker tried to hook me up? Yeah. I swear to God on my mama.
So what happened?
I don't even want to. Cat tried to get me at the park one time when I was in Mill Creek Park in Youngstown, Ohio. My mom told me, "Don't go fishing by yourself." I went by myself. I almost got the raw. Literally, I left my bike, my fishing pole, and the fish that I caught, and ran the fuck home straight up. Yeah. So I know how.
Yeah, Burgers, what happened?
What you mean? What happened? He almost got me.
Yeah, I know that. But
he was an older gentleman.
Did he put you in a sleeper hole? What happened?
He didn't. Nothing ever evolved on it. I never got molested or nothing like that.
I understand that, but you need to go into details. So
okay,
people
my mom was like, I was like, "Mom, I want to go fishing." She was like, "All right, who you going with?" I was like, "Well, Will can't go. I was just gonna go by myself." She said, "No." My dumb ass went anyway. Rolled my bike with my fishing pole, went down there. I'm down there trying to catch some fish, just having fun. I was probably about 11. So I was a little young. In Mill Creek Park, so it's like different. I knew my way around the park because I used to play Little League football out there and all that shit. It's very wooded down there. And it was a white dude and a black dude. And I think they were in cahoots or some shit. I don't know what was going on. And my dumb ass, I was naive at that age, so
all kids are. All kids are naive at that age.
Well,
sure.
The thing is I caught a fish. I caught a big ass carp, but I wasn't gonna eat that damn carp because you don't eat carp, right? And the white dude left. The black dude was like, "Hey, let me show you a shortcut." So I followed this cat out into the wooded area. I'm strolling my bike with my fish, and he stopped, and I'm like, in this particular shortcut, I didn't remember, so I'm like, what the fuck? But once again, I was naive. I was happy because I caught a big-ass carp. It was like 18 inches.
Yeah, you weren't worried about
I wasn't worried about nothing. I thought this cat was going to be like, boom. And he tried to grab me by my wrist, and I like moved my hand. I was like, what the fuck? And he said, I want to suck your dick. Hey, I swear to God on everything I love, I ran so fucking fast, man. And it was these steps. They had to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll say at least like 15 steps.
Wow.
I jumped, landed, and it was like I never stopped moving. And this is a true story, and I can sell it to you and tell you because my mom know, my wife know, you know what I mean? So here I am, and this is the point I'm trying to get to. So here I am, I'm running for my life, crying, scared as fuck. I didn't look back. It was a car sitting there, right? And as I'm running up to the car, I ran to the car. It was an older lady sitting in the car reading the paper, right? I jumped in her fucking back seat, and I put this on my mama life. This is real talk. Jumped in her back seat, was down on the floorboard crying. I said, please, can you just take me to High Street so I can make it home? Actually, she was reading the Bible. And she said to me, this is why he made me stop here. It was you.
Wow.
That's a real talk.
Wow.
I put that on my mom. I put that on the Holy Bible.
That should be a sign right there, man.
Yeah.
You go to church?
I used to as a kid, but I was that young, and she literally said that to me. I couldn't, and I like looked at her like, and she took me to High Street because I knew if my mom seen a stranger drop me off, she would have flipped out. Oh, well, it didn't even make a difference because I told my mom what happened and she turned me out. That was like the worst whipping I ever had in my life.
Because she told you no.
She told me no, and she said, what the did I tell you? And then started banging me out like heavily.
Wow, man. Hey, man, thanks for
Yeah, that's real talk. So, I mean, when you're in that situation,
you sharing that story with us, man.
yeah, it's not, and now y'all know, and everybody gonna know, but a lot of people don't know that story about, you know, what happened early in my life.
Well, we appreciate you having the courage to.
Yeah, of course, because
these
it
stories
happened.
nothing happened, but
Nothing happened. I mean,
you know,
but it was
just,
close.
man.
But this is what my thoughts are now. When I grew up and thought about it, I've been thinking about this shit for years because I thought to myself that if I ever seen that cat again, I would remember him and something's bad's gonna happen. I'm not gonna say exactly what I would do because, you know, we got to keep it professional. But I'm just like, wow, I could have been dead. What was his final process
or fucked in the head for the rest of your life?
Right.
Bro, that kind of fucked you up too to think that somebody trying to.
No, yeah,
I think
not
just
saying
the
not fucked in the head.
but imagine.
Oh yeah, if it would have went through it, but I might have been dead in that wooded area, man.
Yeah.
What else is gonna happen after that?
You know, it's crazy.
That's crazy. Put your mouth on me, and he was just gonna have his way with the baby in the in the goddamn woods. But I swear to God, I got away, man. I got away.
You know, it's crazy. It's like you don't. I know when I was younger, I would go out fishing by myself or with friends. Like, I've never hung out in the house. We're always outside playing, you know, and around in this area, like I drive around or if I'm running errands, I don't see any kids in the parks. I don't see really any kids outside playing.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, times have changed so much, and I mean, that could be an example of why. I mean, there's...
Sure. And I don't even think it's a geographical thing. Like, I don't think, you know, it's not because you're not from this area. That's just... and it's not only the, you know, Temecula heat. It's just... fuck. It's... I don't know. So what do you think? Do you think it's a reasonable fear? Do you think...
I think it's just the kids getting out of hand and doing drugs and...
It's a change in time, bro. It's a change in time.
So do you think it's a reasonable fear? Do you think we're being fear-mongered from
there's a reason.
Sources?
There's a reason for people to be fear-mongers.
I understand, but you know, there's a lot of people in this country, you know, and you're going to get stories of all kinds. Does it happen per capita in every, you know...
per capita?
Well,
per capita.
I think what we have to look at is
Don't matter.
I remember when I was growing up in the early 80s, late 70s, these stories were far and few between. These incidents, right? there were individuals that lived in not in my neighborhood, but there were individuals that they slept with their front door unlocked.
Oh yeah.
I was raised in a neighborhood where if the neighbors saw me doing something bad, they had access to my ass. Not in a sexual manner, but they were able to spank me. You hear what I'm saying?
Oh yes.
So my parents granted them permission to whoop my ass if they see me on top of the garage roof.
And then get your ass whipped again by your
throwing
parents.
rocks or some shit, right?
Yep.
That was the environment that I grew up with in the late 70s and the 80s, early 80s. And kids disappearing was really unheard of. I remember the first movie that I believe was on NBC. It was a Sunday night movie on NBC called Where's Adam?
Adam Walsh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, Adam Walsh.
You, Donnie, what made you remember that? But I remember that movie.
No.
And it was like it was like 1984. What, so obviously you know about that. What's going on?
No, I remember too. And Adam Walsh, he was the first, if I'm not mistaken, he was the first, or the one that actually started having their faces, missing children's faces on like milk cartons.
Milk cartons.
Yeah. That's when they started that. And pretty much, I mean, that's what kind of drove his father, to hunt down these people. America's Most Wanted, all that stuff. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Walsh.
Yeah, he's.
That's right.
Ever since that happened, he needed to do something, and.
It's funny. All I remember, it came on a Sunday evening. It was like probably 1984, 1985. And to that day, I remember the name of the title of that particular mini movie because it frightened me. And for the first time in my life, I was like, wow, there are people out there that take kids. There's an excellent documentary on Netflix called Who Took Johnny? And it was about a kid who was taken from his paper route early in the morning, and it really connected all these high-ranking politicians who were pedophiles. And they would pay individuals to abduct these young, innocent children into this pedophile ring. They were human trafficking. And this was in the very, very early 80s. And it's scary, man. I can just imagine being a parent and it's no longer the safe communities that we had back in the days.
Yeah.
In
93, I was on my picture was on Unsolved Mysteries. I was on thought
you looked familiar.
Yeah. I was student of the month with a girl named Leticia Hernandez, who was kidnapped in my first grade year.
Letty, that's what they call them, man.
Yeah. And anyway, it was bad. They didn't find her body forever, and I think I was like in the 5th grade, and they found her body then. So I mean, that was like 4 years later.
Was this in the Oceanside area?
Yeah,
California.
Yeah, it was right by Stony Brook Apartments, I believe, right off of Crowder Oceanside.
Obviously she was
everything. I mean, all bad that you can think of.
Wow.
But yeah, no, it was our picture because there was me, my buddy Todd, and Leticia. We were all student of the month.
Wow.
And so we came up on Unsolved Mysteries, and it's just kind of weird to be associated with that forever because that hit us hard.
Yeah,
that jacked us up.
Yeah.
That was she was a sweet little girl, and she was just outside playing ball, hit like handball against her garage, and she got taken, and she wasn't found for 4 years later, but it was just bones.
I can imagine your feeling because she would have been the same age you are right now.
Oh yeah, no, it's fucked.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And ladies and gentlemen, look, I can't give this message out enough. Watch your kids. Protect your kids. Even if it's family members. Close family members can do much more damage to your children more than a stranger.
It's a fact.
So protect your children. I had no idea that this episode was going to go this direction, but nonetheless, we're here, and just protect your children. You know, you never know who's out there. These pedophiles, these people with insane thoughts of doing some crazy acts to innocent children and adults. You got something to say, Burgers?
Well, I mean, along those lines, I mean, you know, you're saying everything correctly. If you think about the tragedy in Vegas, and then you can spin it off in the tragedy in Texas.
Let's talk about Texas real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, our heart goes out to every family member who was affected in that sad tragedy. My goodness, I couldn't even begin to imagine. Let's talk about that before we head out.
Politicizing the issue, I mean, that's kind of just what we do. It's human nature, right? I mean, we look at you know, what has led us to this point, and I don't want to just jump on that, but I kind of might. I just know on social media, you know, you have the far rights who are saying, going back to the lefts are trying to ban weapons,
gun control,
and the right or the lefts, you know, I don't know. Everybody's out of control right now. I'm not, you know, I don't consider myself left or right, but you know, we're going to these extremes, and I don't even think it needs to be extreme. It's, you know, just the common sense stuff. Like, you know, this guy, he got kicked out of the military for smuggling weapons on a base to threaten his commanders. He got kicked out, and then he escaped from a mental hospital. After that, he bought assault rifles legally.
Why was he allowed to do that?
I don't know how the hell that happened.
So
why was he allowed to do that?
So when you hear people just saying, you know, not even from like a far left or a far right, you hear people saying, hey, we need to control that. And it's not we need to take guns away, because they're, you know, a lot of these people's reactions are, well, a guy came out with his gun, shot him 3 times, and they ran him down. You know, great.
Yeah, but that was in Texas.
Sure, and that's
and Texas,
dude, I applaud that.
On the one
of the only
states that does that.
But I applaud that. I applaud that. What I don't applaud is this guy being able to buy assault rifles.
Hold on,
after being
let me get this correct, because now I got the story twisted. So this gentleman bought those legally?
Yes.
Yeah.
What the?
He bought them legally because the Air Force failed to submit the proper information to the database as far as domestic violence. Because prior to this whole incident,
Donnie,
when he got kicked out of the Air Force.
I know that.
Yeah, for the whole cracking the baby's skull. His
Exactly. And then beat up his chick or his wife at the time or whatever. No, Donnie, you know, I'm not going to even say this, but that does not sound shady to you.
Them not reporting it?
Right. Exactly. That and if you look at the Vegas thing, it was more than one shooter. I'll just leave it at that. Because I already know what it is, but it seems like someone is trying to create the gun control, to create that power.
I think there's lots of...
I mean, if you think about it, that's 2 mass shootings within a month, I think. A month and a half.
I won't get too deep into conspiracy,
I don't want to do that either.
But
I
I do think that you know, agendas are powerful, and I'm not saying that anything was false flag. I honestly don't believe that. To me, I don't think it was false flag at all. But I think that agendas are so powerful that, you know, I don't know. Some of these events happen when they could be. Or when they could be prevented, and we don't do anything to prevent them. Therefore, I think that alone is supporting an agenda. I mean, that guy should never have been
had
able
a
to
chance.
buy an assault rifle ever, or a freak. I don't care if it's a 22, 6-shot fucking pistol. He shouldn't been able to have it. So, when we're talking, or not even I'm not representing the left or the Democrats or anything, but when anybody's talking about gun control, we need to control who can get fucking guns, plain and simple. California, we're in California. So this state is where the Democrats are trying to mirror across the rest of the country. Lots of people don't agree with that. I don't even know that I do to
that
point
extent.
A to Z. But obviously, there's something fucking wrong if we let a lunatic, mental hospital escapee, whatever, get a fucking gun and then
Jesus.
post this shit on social media saying, hey, this is one bad fucking bitch, and it can obviously fucking do some damage, and is, where his head's at. I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's evident that we have a lot of gaps
in the system,
within our system to keep the American public safe. So I would suggest that you take the means amongst you and your family. You guys get together. You guys have a control plan, whether it's for earthquake evacuation, fires, God forbid, a home invasion. Have a plan prepared. We here in this studio are all military veterans, and we probably all have firearms. For sure. We probably, all four of us do.
Yes,
so
sir.
We're going to take care of our families. I would suggest that you would do the same. Nonetheless, this is a topic I believe we should touch on a later date, because there are so many crevices that
Need to be
avenues
filled.
that we need to touch on. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, listen, this has been chapter 29. This has been the Thanksgiving chapter. We've talked about politics. We drank beers with the fellas. I want to give a big thanks to Donnie. Thank you, Donnie, for your time.
Yo.
Big Sherm, once again, for your time.
Yes, sir.
And then, once again, Big Burgers for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies
I
and
appreciate
gentlemen,
it.
Absolutely. This has been chapter 29 here on the chapter of the Architect, DJ Architect. Once again, out. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
DJ Architect.